You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/kidsandfamily. Just go to Indeed.com/kidsandfamily right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.
Hello and welcome to the Football for Kids podcast with me, Darren Rees, and welcome to yet another brand new episode. In this episode, we're going to be doing a part 2 on a player we covered for the very first time in January 2024. Since then, he's done some marvellous things, including winning the FIFA Club World Cup, he's eaten some chippy chips, and he's colder than ever. Of course, in this episode, we're going to be doing a part 2 on the coldest man in the Premier League, Cole Palmer. Now, before we get into this episode properly and we dive into the journey of Cole Palmer since January 2024, a massive shout out to everybody who's both followed Soccer for Kids and is listening to the episodes which are being uploaded there. Well over 5,000 of you have already checked out Soccer for Kids. If you haven't, all you've got to do is search Soccer for Kids wherever you listen to Football for Kids and it will appear there. Okay, in part 1 we covered everything from Cole's birth all the way up to January 2024. His days at Manchester City under Pep Guardiola, the bold move to Chelsea and how he first earned that nickname Cold Palmer. But since then, well, let's just say this, Manchester City may well be kicking themselves because Cole Palmer has exploded into one of the best young players in the Premier League. He's scoring, assisting and pulling out the coldest celebrations every single week. At the start of 2024, 21-year-old Cole was still settling in at Chelsea. His first big test came in January in the League Cup semi-final against Middlesbrough. Chelsea lost the game 1-0 and Cole missed a few chances. After the game, he said that he felt disappointed missing that many chances and he felt like he may have cost the team that game. But this is Cole Palmer who we're talking about. Days later, he stepped up and smashed home a penalty against Fulham. It was his 9th league goal of that season and it gave Chelsea the 1-0 win, their 3rd straight league victory and their first real winning run under the then manager Mauricio Pochettino. You gotta say, that was a day that fans started to call him Ice Cold Cold Palmer for the way that he shrugged and folded his arms and rubs his triceps. And then came the second leg of that semi-final. Palmer made up those early misses with a magical performance. He scored twice, one a neat low finish and the other a late strike, as Chelsea smashed Middlesbrough 6-1 and booked a trip to Wembley. The big newspapers in England called him outstanding, and Pochettino said he is an amazing talent. And Cole, with a grin, just said, "To score 2 and go through to Wembley, I'm as happy as you can be. Cold as you like." Off the pitch, Cole was also winning people over with his personality. He became the joker of a Chelsea squad. After one game, he stopped an interview halfway through just to ask his teammate Cucurella why he kept slipping over, live on TV. And on a team trip to a safari park, a baby chimp made Cole scream so loudly it was hilarious and the video went viral. And when he was asked about his favourite meal after a match, he didn't say a protein shake or pasta. He said Chinese, salt and pepper chicken, rice, and you know them chippy chips? Those ones, yeah, them with curry sauce. It was relatable and very, very funny. By February 2024, Cole was ready for his first final, the League Cup final at Wembley against Liverpool. He nearly scored, he set up chances, but Chelsea ended up losing 1-0 in extra time. Heartbreak it was. Still, pundits praised his performance and said he gave Chelsea new dimensions. He didn't have to wait long for another chance to shine though. In March, Chelsea faced Leicester City in the FA Cup quarter-final. Cole scored what reporters called a scrumptious strike. Chelsea went all the way to the semis when they faced Manchester City. Cole played bravely against his old team, but City edged it 1-0 and it ended in defeat again. But everyone could see that Cole Palmer was becoming a big game player and his personality was really shining through. Then came one of the greatest Premier League nights of that season, April 4th, 2024. It was 3-2 United in stoppage time, and then Cole Palmer took over. He scored a late penalty, and in the 101st minute, he smashed in the winner to complete his hat-trick and give Chelsea a 4-3 victory at the end. Stamford Bridge absolutely erupted. And if it wasn't enough, just 11 days later against Everton, Palmer scored 4 goals in a 6-0 win. It was a perfect hat-trick inside 30 minutes, plus an outrageous chip from 30 yards out. By then, he was level with Erling Haaland in the Golden Boot race, and Pochettino said his impact had been amazing from day one. By the end of the season, Cole had scored 22 Premier League goals, the most by a Chelsea player since Eden Hazard. Then came the Euro 2024 tournament. Cole was mostly started on the bench, waiting for his chance. But in the final against Spain, England were 1-0 down when Gareth Southgate called his name. On he came, Cole Palmer. And 3 minutes later, the ball rolled to him on the edge of the box and boom! Cole scored an absolute screamer. 1-1, and it was the biggest goal of his career. England eventually lost 2-1, but Palmer had announced himself on one of the world's biggest stages. He even won England Men's Player of the Year, beating Jude Bellingham and Bukayo Saka. Not that they were too bothered by that. They knew how much of a legend and how well Cole Palmer had played. Back at Chelsea, things went to another level. Under a new manager, Palmer wore the number 10 shirt and smashed records. By the end of 2024, he had the most Premier League goal contributions in a calendar year, more than any Chelsea player since 2001. He scored 25 goals, provided 15 assists, won Goal of the Month, Player of the Month, and he never missed a penalty. 12 out of 12. He was ice cold, living up to his name. He even kept his feet on the ground. After one win, he drove straight to McDonald's for nuggets and a milkshake. A fan filmed him doing his cold celebration pose at the drive-thru window. And then the silverware started flowing. In May 2025, Chelsea won the UEFA Conference League final against Real Betis, with Palmer running the show. He got 2 assists and was named the player of the match. A few weeks later, in July, Chelsea travelled to the US for the FIFA Club World Cup tournament. In the final, they faced PSG, who had been on fire. Palmer scored twice in a 3-0 win. Chelsea were world champions, and Cole won the Golden Boot as the best player of the whole tournament. As of September 2025, as I record this, Cole Palmer is 23 years old. He's loved by Chelsea, respected by England, and applauded by Manchester City fans whenever he returns to his boyhood club. And I've got to say, Gary Lineker summed it up perfectly. From City's bench to Chelsea's main man and an England hero, all in about 18 months. And that brings this episode on Cole Palmer to an end. So remember, if you know someone who loves football just as much as you do, then please tell them about the Football for Kids podcast. And whether you're playing football soon, watching it on the telly, or pitchside, I hope that you enjoy the game. See you next time.
podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.